I'm Brian Van, sportbiketrackgear.com, and today we're going to talk motorcycle stands. Okay, I know, a stand is a stand is a stand, right? No, actually they're not. For this video, we're going to focus on three of my favorite brands, the ones that I would personally recommend depending upon your needs and your budget here at STG. To my left, we've got Pitbull, Cadillac stands. In the center, we've got Woodcraft, tremendous quality and value. To the far right, we've got the budget stand, right, in the Vortex. Each one of these is different, okay? Coming back to the Pitbull, made in the USA, the quality of this is absolutely amazing. The thing will outlast any motorcycle you'll ever have, and there's a lot of features and benefits that are available with this stand. I'm going to cover some of those right now. A standard spooled rear stand, price-wise, is going to be $144.95. Options available. One would include a removable rear handle, which is a sweet option, especially when you're storing your bike, right? You've got a spring-loaded handle right here, like so, locks in place. You can get an extended removable handle. It's going to give you more leverage, make it easier to use. That would be an additional $15. This one is $10. You can get different lift plates. This one that I have on here right now allows it to be lifted by spools. This side will allow you to lift a swing arm without any spools on it. I always recommend if your bike takes spools, which all modern sport bikes will, you're going to want to focus on the spools. Now, this is my favorite option ever, and this is only available with Pitbull. This is their Pit Crew Tire Wedge, a device they developed and released in 2015. This essentially helps you change your tires by holding the tire in place. It's height adjustable. It works only with the Pitbull stands, $89.95. We sell a ton of them. Phenomenal option. But once again, you know, with the Pitbull, you're investing in something. It's going to last you a long time, great quality. They've got stands for every motorcycle you can imagine. Woodcraft, $109.95 for the spooled rear stand that we're showing here. There's a pad style stand that'll lift a swing arm without spools. That's $129.99. Once again, focus on the spooled as long as your bike accepts them, which they pretty much all do. With this, made in the USA like Pitbull. Great quality, heavy duty design. The quad wheels are nice. The braces here are also very nice. Lifting effort with this is actually really good as well. You can tell the guy who designed this is a racer because he incorporated skid pads at the bottom of this. What's the reason behind that? Well, if you don't know it, when you have your bike up on a good rear stand, you can grab the front of the motorcycle and push the bike around on the rear stand. These two stands work phenomenal with that, okay? So that's definitely an advantage. Let's talk adjustment with the Woodcraft. A little different than these two. These two clearly, you loosen the bolts, you slide the arms around, there's your adjustment for width, because all bikes are a little different. With the Woodcraft, they found the sweet spot. So with most bikes, you don't have to do anything to it. You just get it out of the box, dip it under, you're good to go. Let's say you get it and the thing's too narrow, right? It's too tight, we need to open it up. You're gonna turn it on its side like so. You're gonna put a foot down here, an arm up here, and you're gonna flex it just a little bit. Little tweaks if you need to. Odds are you won't have to. If you need to collapse it, if it's too wide, you would do the opposite. Turn it on its side, push down in little increments, and then try and fit it to the motorcycle. Now we have Vortex. You ready for this? $84 shipped to the lower 48 states. All the prices we've talked about are shipped to the lower 48. This one is going to come disassembled, okay? So all the pieces you see, the uprights, this piece here, I think the wheels were off with the handle, you got to bolt together. It's going to take a minute, okay? Adjustment, loosen the bolts, slide the arms in and out. We do have quad wheels here, which are nice. It has sliders at the bottom, right? Plastic sliders, so if you do want to slide it around on the ground, you can. If it's rough asphalt and not a smooth concrete, at the end of the day, you're going to end up tearing the plastic pieces off. So that's one very minor Achilles heel with that stand. But once again, the price point of the Vortex, it's still a great product and it's a lot more affordable. When we come back, I'm going to have 3 front stands on the table and we're going to talk about possible front stand options from each brand. Okay, now we're on to the front stand part of our video. Pitbull on the left, Woodcraft in the center, Vortex on the right. These are a little bit different. Clearly I've got two headlift stands here and I've got a forklift stand here. This is what I prefer. I prefer using the forklift stand. So this is the one that I use from Pitbull, right, for my front stand. I look at it like this. The majority of the time, all I need to do is lift the bike to change the tires, change the brake pads, or put the tire warmers on. That's it. This is the most convenient for that, in my opinion. You know, once a year, once every 2 years, depending on where you're at with your maintenance, that kind of stuff, I need to get the forks off the bike and I need to lift it by the head. So I don't want to lift it by the head each and every time. That's my personal opinion and personal approach. So with this stand, okay, as it sits right here, you're looking at $159.95, okay? Fixed handle with the fork pads, all right? We've got extended handle, removable handle options, $10 and $15 more if you choose to add those. Now let's say that you want to be able to lift from the head once in a while, but when you go to the track or for your normal maintenance, you want to use these. You can buy their hybrid head lift front stand that allows you to lift from the triple tree when you need to. When you don't, you disassemble it. You buy these supports, okay? The swivels, $44. You install them in place. I mean, you look at the hardware this thing comes with, okay? Spring-loaded clips. Everything here is absolute top shelf. You slide those in, you're good to go, best of both worlds. You're clearly spending more money. We have height adjustment here as well. You're able to pick from multiple heights depending on your motorcycle, what's going to work best for you. That works great when you're taking forks off a bike, when you're able to really choose your height. So there is our Pitbull. Now let's come to our Woodcraft. This stand is really, really cool. We're going to show you something as we go through this really long stand video. This has the easiest lifting effort of any motorcycle stand on the planet. It's amazing. I'm going to have a 10-year-old kid lift the front of my R1 with this. This one is going to run you $159.99. It's going to come with one pin, fully assembled like this. We have full height adjustment, American made, heavy gauge, quad wheels, okay? Great piece of equipment. And the way Eric designed this, it's really pretty much out of the way, so you can go to the track and use this to put your warmers on and off, change your tires if you choose to do so. I still feel it's a little bit easier, you know, with a forklift stand, but that is my personal opinion. Great piece of equipment, very popular, okay? Now, let's come to the Vortex. We're gonna show you the headlift stand. $110, shipped to the lower 48. It's gonna be modular, okay? It's gonna come all disassembled in a box. You gotta put it together. There is no height adjustment with this. So this one, at the end of the day, they have it set so it just lifts higher than it really needs to. The other ones start off a little lower. This one's gonna start off a little higher. There is no adjustment. It's gonna work well for most any modern sport bike. They also include a little packet of pins that come with it. There's a handful of pins that fit pretty much every modern sport bike. I'd show you those pins, but my marketing manager, Dalton, lost my pins when he was borrowing my stand. It happens. Good quality piece. Let's say that you want to lift like we're doing with the Pitbull. You just want to lift it by the bottom of the forks. Vortex has another stand that'll only lift from the bottom. There's no possibility of adding anything on to lift from the head. $84.96. It's a good quality piece. It's the budget piece on the table. Next up, we're going to roll a bike in, and I'm going to show you lifting effort, how stable the bike is using the three different stands. Okay, now what I want to cover is lifting effort with the stands, right? You know, what kind of effort do you have to put into lifting? And today, I've got a helper here. I've got my young son, Max, 10 years old. How you doing, kid?
Great.
All right, we're going to start off with our Pitbull. Okay, normally at the track, right, we're doing this ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and hold the bike at the back. That is with a standard removable handle. Here's what I want you to focus on. I mean, that is super stable. That is one area where they really dominate the stability when it's on the stand. Remember we talked earlier, about rolling the bike around. You know, this stand easily allows for that, okay? It will wear the bottom of the stand a little bit. I'm not gonna BS you on that. If you've had it for a long time, you roll it around a lot, it will wear the bottom of the stand. Next up, let's give the Woodcraft a shot. And this I did not adjust at all out of the box, and it fits the bike perfectly. Very easy effort. One thing I'd like to point out is, because of its different design, you don't have really any handle out here, so this is as effective almost as a removable handle with the handle off, so there's less to trip on. Stability, good. That is definitely a little bit better, but this is, I would rate very stable, wouldn't worry about it at all. And remember, Eric incorporated the skid plates. I mean, you want to talk about gliding, okay? I mean, you could literally, that is actually even easier to roll around on the stand than the Pitbull was, so no doubt, great product. Now let's show the Vortex. Out of the three, I would say for me, this had the highest lifting effort. Stability, of the three, you know, definitely a little bit less stable, but still not horrible, okay? You can roll this on a smooth floor like I've got here. You can do this. I'm gonna recommend against it because those are plastic pads on the bottom. You're just gonna tear them off of there. And long term, that's gonna be a bad decision for your stand. Now, let's go ahead and let's check lifting effort with a 10-year-old that weighs about 75 pounds. That's the Vortex.
It's not.
You can't lift it with that one,
Yes.
can you? Okay, let's try the Woodcraft. And like I said, I myself had a little more trouble with that one. Clearly he can operate that one. Go ahead and take that one off. And now let's see if you can operate the Pitbull. You're going to move those two out of your way, bud. There you go. What would you say? Which one was easiest?
I would say the Pitbull, but
Where's the button at?
the button.
Where's the button at? If it's the Pitbull, it's the Pitbull. Okay, now let's talk about the front stand. Same combinations we showed you earlier. When we do this, I will have the same brand rear stand in place. This is my preferred method, right? I like to go with just the forklift front. You line it up so that the back of this pad catches the back of the fork leg. The bottom pad is directly under it, so very stable. They're also weighted so that they're really in position when you get under there. Lifting effort, not a problem at all for me. Stability, dominant. I mean, I have no qualms sitting on the bike. I can remember at Sport Bike Track Time working with students and stuff, the hang-off drill and using stands. No worries, very stable. Now let's bring in my little assistant. And let's see if he can lift the front of the Pitbull. Give it a big push, kid. Not gonna happen. Okay, good effort. Appreciate the effort. Now we're gonna go Woodcraft. The claim to fame with this is the easy lifting effort, and that is one of the main reasons we've got the kid here today. To get it in, you need to dip it under like so. You're gonna wanna look underneath, find the hole in the bottom of your triple tree like so. and then push down, just like that. Stability, also very, very good. Pretty close to the Pitbull, not quite there. Eric did a great job in designing this. You can see that there's full access. It's plenty wide enough. You can service the brakes, the whole thing, the suspension, tire changes. So if you would prefer to have one stand that does it all in the front, this is going to be a great option. Now what I want to show you is, just so you can see how easy this lifting effort really is. Max, come on in here. Okay. Let's see how easy this one is compared to the Pitbull stand. See what you got, kid. Yeah, the Pitbull, he couldn't even get it off the ground. Remember, odds are most of the time it's grown men doing it, big difference, but that is amazing. Big time mechanical advantage. Okay, now we're on to Vortex, our last one. Same concept here as the Woodcraft. You got to get it up under, look for the hole in the bottom of the triple tree, locate that, grab the handle in the center, push down like so. Still good access, gets a little tighter here around the calipers and stuff, but you would be able to, service the brakes, service the tire, put your warmers on and off, stuff like that. Stability. Out of the three stands, you can clearly see that one allows the bike to move around the most. Still, end of the day, in my opinion, a good product. And now, let's see lifting effort. Let's see if the kid can get this one. Not going to happen. Good try, though. Excellent effort. There you have it. 3 different brands of stand. All 3 brands we completely recommend here because at the end of the day, everybody's operating with a different budget, okay? Each of these products is good. The most affordable for sure is without a doubt the Vortex, and if you take care of it, it'll last you a long time. The Woodcraft, super functional, tons of value, crazy easy lifting effort on the front, and the rear stand to drive your bike around like that on those little skid pads, like 0 effort. Did a great job with that. Then you get to the Pitbull. More stand options than you could ever imagine. The guy who owns the company is a really good friend of mine, Charlie. Right, he literally is a rocket scientist, okay? That's where he came from. Aerospace industry, and you can see that in his products. They're absolutely amazing, the Cadillac of motorcycle stands, in my opinion. So 3 great brands, 3 different price points. All stands are not created equal. I'm Brian Van, sportbiketrackgear.com.